Hello guys, welcome to Steve Knows. It is the weekly news update. It is time, and we have such great news this week, such as some Quest changes that are going to impact your XR gaming. We've got new applications, new wireless PCVR features, cancelled headsets, and so much more. So let's get into it. That is enough chin wagging. Let's get started. So we have some big news today. Some of the biggest differentiating features between the Quest 3 and the Quest 2 are finally released. They are inside-out body tracking, legs, and mixed reality occlusion via a depth API. So these three features are available for developers to enable and leverage in the SDKs. However, Unity gets them all, but for now, Unreal only gets one of the three. I'm not sure if it's coming in future, but they get the depth sensor, the API for MR occlusion. So what do these features mean? What do they do? First is the inside-out body tracking, not to be confused with full body tracking. So this is where the Quest headset will track the top half of your body thanks to those new cameras in the Quest 3 facing downwards. It can now track the position of your shoulders, your torso, your elbows, and flexes in your wrists. So be careful on some of those websites. This would mean you have better representation of your body movement in game. And because it can track your torso, this should enable torso-based locomotion, which will provide the most natural way of moving in VR on Quest yet. So instead of the classic head-based tracking and the hand-based tracking, you should now move in the direction that you are facing, not where you are looking or where your hands are pointing. This is an absolute real win. You need to try it in order to see what an impact this is going to have. Those of you that tried the Deca Move application, which was the waist-based locomotion, you'll know how great this is going to be, especially in shooters. And the next thing in this update is legs.
Legs?
And for the Quest 3, because it's supposed to bring those additional tracking features, it should have more accurate and better precision on generative legs. But this will be on Quest 2 as well. This is not a Quest 3 feature, just Quest 3 will be better at predicting your location. So you should now have legs thanks to AI, but it's not actually tracking your real legs. It's some sort of philosophical conundrum. You both have and do not have legs until someone perceives them. And as I said, because this is predictive, it's not actually representing your actual movement. You won't see things like knee raises or toe wiggles, if that's a thing. So the term they use here is full body synthesis. So when they use that term, they're talking about this generative legs. And a couple of games to keep an eye on that should be adopting this is Supernatural, Swordsman VR, and Drunken Bar Fight. And the final one is for mixed reality. This is a huge deal for MR content, although it's not fantastic at the moment. It's a depth API that enables occlusion on your virtual assets. So your assets, you'll be able to see them interact with your real world seamlessly. So the asset can exist in between real world objects. So the example here, if I'm not explaining it well, is there's an image of an asset, an alien, in between a table and the floor behind it. So you can see that the table kind of slightly covers the asset rather than it looking dodgy and floating in space that we see so often in AR. Dynamic occlusion is so cool, but the Quest depth sensor is of low resolution, so you do see issues where around the edges of where the occlusion is occurring, you'll see soft edges or terrible blocked edges from digital sampling. So they have soft occlusion, which adds some feathering, and hard occlusion, but the soft occlusion will be more GPU intensive, so make sure you've got some headroom if you're wanting to use that. Hopefully this feature is going to be used to add some cool things in mixed reality games as well. Let me know what you guys think of this Quest update. To me, they sound like small things on paper, but they have a huge impact on our experiences. I think they're pretty cool, and I can't wait to see them implemented by devs. Now the not so good news, but great news if you're an American conglomerate that doesn't like competition. Pico have apparently cancelled their next generation headset, the Pico 5, which isn't the official name, they call it Project Swan. So instead of taking on the Quest as a competitor, they aim to take on the Apple Vision Pro instead, which is more of a market that isn't as established. So I kind of understand it. Meta dominate the budget consumer space. It's really hard to get in there. But I know people were excited for the Pico 5, a standalone headset with DisplayPort connectivity again, yes. But the sale of the Pico 4, they just haven't been good enough. And does that mean we're not going to see the Pico 4 in the North American regions as well? Because that was supposed to happen. It's kind of sad times because competition is beneficial to us as consumers, and seeing so many bow out of the space doesn't bode well for the future. There is already a Steam Link update. It's already pumping out updates that looks to have taken inspiration from Virtual Desktop, which for me is the superior method still of wireless PCVR gaming right now. So the Steam Link has added a feature called Advanced Super Sample Filtering, which aims to improve the quality of your visuals that you see when using high sample rates. So this will mostly benefit those of you who are having a tough time getting nice visuals out, especially because as you increase the quality of visuals, the difference that you see is not so noticeable. So the increase has to be exponential in order for you to actually see and perceive the benefit. But the funny thing is that they said this was accidentally switched off due to another change for the Quest that occurred years ago, and I find this so funny. Those of you that don't know, my day job, I am a software engineer, so I have this vision of what actually went on in the office that day, and I can see 100% how this happened, and I believe it. So we have this new feature that we worked so hard. No, we accidentally turned off a couple of years ago. It was always there. Sorry. Right now, I just want to touch on a couple of quick notes here. So the first one is the Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta is now available on Quest 2, Quest 3, and the Pro. I do have a dedicated video on it, so check that out if you want some more detailed information on how this works. But basically, you can now play Xbox in the cloud on your Quest headset with a huge screen that takes up an entire wall in mixed reality, but at the cost of visual fidelity and performance. But if you've got great internet and you've got a brilliant mobile data plan, you can play this anywhere. Just as long as you've got your Quest on you can play Xbox on a huge screen anywhere in the world, which is, it's pretty cool. Just, God, it does struggle sometimes. I've seen that reports of some people having an amazing experience and some having a not so great. Mine was mixed. There is also an update to the Casting 2.0 feature, which enables high quality gameplay capture with a wider field of view and stabilization. But this currently had to have been done with your headset plugged into the computer. It's now possible to do this wirelessly with your Quest, so your favorite YouTubers, or if you like to capture yourself, can have an easier time grabbing footage because it is now wireless. You can have wireless connectivity to the computer for this improved capture. But it's wireless, so expect hiccups, expect delays and degradation in quality. The best way is always going to be the wired way. Well, maybe not always, but at least for now. I also have to give a shout out to Gamer Reality. He has created a game, he's developed something, and I started this channel. So when I started this channel, this guy reached out to me and shared his YouTube wisdom with me. We kind of became like best YouTube buddies at the very start of when I used to do this. And I may not be here right now if it wasn't for his continued support through the tough times, the grind times. So I'm absolutely over the moon that he's created content for this industry and sector that he is passionate about. So it's called Blastum. It is available on App Lab, and it is completely free. The concept of the game may be kind of familiar. You can play it with friends, and it has built-in voice chat. So if you want a free game, you want some time to kill with a friend, check this out. I'll link it down below in the description. So that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Please go check out some of my game reviews, some of the other videos on my channel. Hit subscribe. Hopefully, I will see you next time. Have a great week. Happy gaming. Good day.